morning, students. This is the time for computer class and I am your computer teacher. So we are continuing the lesson MS Excel 2010. Till now in this chapter we have discussed about spreadsheet, the features of spreadsheet software, MS Excel 2010, a spreadsheet software, what is notebook and worksheet, how to start MS Excel 2010, the components of MS Excel 2010 window like title bar, quick access toolbar, ribbon. In ribbon we have discussed about the tabs, groups and commands, file tab, help button, name box, formula bar, sheet area or working area, row bar, column bar, cell, status bar, sheet tab, insert worksheet button, horizontal scroll bar, vertical scroll bar. We have also discussed about how to create a new workbook, how to enter the data in a worksheet, how to save a workbook, how to open an already existing workbook, how to rename a worksheet, how to insert a worksheet, how to delete a worksheet, the different methods available for deleting, inserting, saving, opening, renaming, entering the data and creating a new workbook, selecting cells in a worksheet. In this topic we have discussed how to select a single cell, how to select the range of cells, how to select non-adjacent cells or ranges, how to select a single row or column, how to select all the cells in a worksheet, closing a workbook, exiting MS Excel 2010, the basic difference between closing a workbook and exiting MS Excel, editing a worksheet. Here we have discussed editing cell content, the two options in editing cell content, replacing the text and modifying the text, undo and redo changes, deleting the cell contents, moving the data from one place to another, copying the data, the basic difference between moving the data and copying the data, inserting the cells, rows and column. In this topic we have discussed about inserting cells, inserting columns, inserting rows, deleting cells, rows and columns. Here we have discussed deleting cells, deleting columns and rows, changing the column width and row height. In this topic we have discussed changing the column width, changing the column width with a specific measurement, changing the row height, changing the row height with a specific measurement, formatting the data. We have discussed what is font. In formatting the data we have discussed changing the font, changing the font size, changing the font color, changing the text style, changing the background color, adding a border. Next we have discussed about creating series or autofill, autofill using one starting cell value, autofill using more than one starting cell values, autofill date and times, horizontal and vertical autofill, custom list. What is custom list? How can we create the custom lists? Next we have discussed formulas in MS Excel, which is an important part of MS Excel. Here we have discussed simple formula, the components of a formula like operator, cell reference, constant, functions, equal to, parenthesis, creating a simple formula, compound or complex formula, text formula. Next we have discussed cell reference. Here we have discussed the types of cell reference like relative cell reference, absolute cell reference, mixed cell reference, the basic difference between them. Next we have discussed functions in MS Excel 2010. So here we have discussed the rules for writing a function and some commonly used function in MS Excel 2010. So some of the commonly used functions that we have discussed are sum, average, count, today, int, odd, round, sqrt. So some of the students have asked me to explain the topic of the commonly used function in MS Excel. So the first commonly topic that we use in MS Excel are number one, sum. Number one is sum. And here we give the range of sum. So what does sum do? It calculates the sum of a given range over here. It calculates the sum of given, it calculates the sum of given range over here. So what is the example of using the sum? Like suppose I have written equal to sign. Remember, whenever we are using any function or formula, it always begins with equal sign. So first of all we must write the equal sign, then sum, and then the range from where we have to start. Suppose A4 to A6 over here. So this is the sum. Like suppose, in order to explain it more clear, suppose I am drawing this Excel worksheet over here. This is just an example. So I have drawn this Excel, consider it as an Excel worksheet. Suppose this is the first row, this is the second row, the third row and fourth row, first column, second column, third column and fourth column, row 1, 2, 3, 4, column name A, B, C, D. So I have written some values over here, say 5, 8, 9, 4, 2, 7, 6, 8, 3. Now over here, suppose I want to add them. So in order to add them over here, what I have to do? I have to write the equal sign, because the formula always begins with equal sign, then sum, and then the range. The range is A1 to C1. A1 to C1 over here. I have written this function over here, and as soon as I press the enter key over here, the output will be 8, 5, 14 and 9, 23. So 23 will appear over here in this column D1. So in D1 we will have 23. So this is the method of using the function named sum, which is ready-made function which has been provided by the Excel to us so that we can find out the sum easily. This is the sum function. The next topic that we are going to discuss over here is average. So average is the next function that we are going to discuss over here, and in average we have to give the range. So what does it do? It calculates the average of a given range. What does it do? It calculates the average of a given range. It calculates the average of a given range. So it calculates the average of a given range. Now suppose how to write the average? Always begin with equal sign, write the function name average, and then write the range over here. Like suppose I have written A1 to C1. So the average will be 23 divided by 3, and the answer, whatever the answer will come over here, that will be available in D1. So this is the method of finding the average. So whenever we write the average and the range, the average will be automatically calculated and will be available in the particular range. Next, we have the function count. Count, and in count also we have to give the range. So what does it do? It counts the number of cells in a range. It counts the number of cells in a range. Example is equal to count, then from A1 to, suppose I have written over here C4, from A1 to C4. So what will be the output of this? First value, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 9. So the output will be 9 over here. So this is the count over here. So in what does the count do? It counts the number of cells in a range.